Good morning, everyone. Good meowing, actually. Meowing. Hello, hello. Hi. It's the official first day of Summer Games Fest. The official first day. And this is it's funny, this was on the schedule on their official website, but it got removed, but it's still happening, so I'm still counting it as part of Summer Games Fest. I don't know why it got removed, but it was. And thank you, Floor, for redeeming an ooh woo. Ooh woo. Oh wow. Ooh woo. And yes, guys, if you haven't had a chance, my pal Mr. Up here has a new music project called Static Saint. It's pinned. Check it out. I don't know if you guys heard the music, but it's fire. And he's been sharing all this stuff to me yesterday. And guys, definitely go check it out. He's got his full album up. He has up on Bandcamp. It's coming to Spotify soon. And there may be some wink wink projects in the work. Wink wink. So you never know. But yes, we are going to start off with the today's Summer Games Fest streams with the Accessibility Summer Showcase, which starts in about 19 minutes. But while we wait, let's talk about predictions for Summer Games Fest in general. Um, I Sky shared a screenshot with me of somebody's comment. I'm just gonna see if I can find it here. Uh, it said, if we don't get something KH4 related tomorrow at Summer Games Fest, I'm either starting a Keyblade War or opening the door to darkness. Oh man, really? People are really gunning for that. Man, what is going on with my neck and stuff here? Well, let me see if I can fix that real quick. Give me one sec. I'm gonna probably have to reload. You guys are gonna see the reload message probably. Give me a sec. There we go. I think it's fixed. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Now my neck's not going crazy, but I could face you guys. There we go. But yeah, you predict there will be announcements. Yeah, yes, Flork. I know there will be announcements. Cage seeing something Cage 4 would be nice, even though like Kingdom Hearts is not my thing. I still am like I'm still holding out hope that Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna have like Marvel and Star Wars worlds. That'd be nice. It's too bad that Disney doesn't own the rights to Power Rangers anymore, because then we can't get a Power Rangers world. But eh, the new series is coming to Disney Plus, so who knows? Maybe Hasbro will lend it to them or something. Um, I would like to see. Let's just see. Oh, we saw more Silent Hill F yesterday, so we saw that. That's good. I would like to see. I guess. Oh, I don't know. A lot of what I wanted to see was shown. I want to see some cool indie games that. Welcome, Rubber Ducky. Well, you're welcome to lurk, and I actually have a lurk command. If you type exclamation point lurk, it will put you in lurk mode in the chat. And thank you for stopping by. Let's see. But let's see. What's some things I'd like to see? Well, thing is, I got a lot of what I already wanted to see. Like a new Donkey Kong got showed off during the Switch 2 event, which now that Switch 2's out, it came out yesterday, and people are already modding it. Um, it's already got hacks and stuff, so that didn't take very long. Excuse me as I sip my coffee. I think my model's getting cut off partially. I'm just gonna move myself. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Move myself down just a little bit. There we go. That's better. Um, Obviously, I'm always gunning for something new from Mega Man. I'd like to see what Capcom's going to do next with Resident Evil. When did 4 come out? Did 4 come out last year? I can't remember when 4 Remake came out. I'm just going to check real quick, actually. Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think didn't it come out in 2023? It did come out in 2023. So it's been a while since 4 remake. You're okay with your current Switch? So just a little update. I was looking at some stuff. I was actually talking to this guy this morning about some stuff. Um, uh, so as it turns out, hey, how's it going, Drew? Good morning. You ready for all the new game announcements? That's what we're talking about right now. But it turns out there's a video that somebody posted of the Switch 2 being set up for the first time offline and him testing games. As it turns out, the rumor that all games are going to be just download like unlocks seems to be false because this guy tried out the Breath of the Wild for Switch 2, which apparently is also a backwards compatible cartridge that will work in the original Switch, which is crazy to me. Um, it works without needing an online connection. Sunday Expo. Yeah. So I do want to say I'm glad you brought that up because I'm not going to be watching the Xbox stuff when it happens. I'm waiting because my partner Karama wants to watch the Xbox stuff and I'm going to watch it with her and she works that day. So we're going to do the Xbox stuff later on Sunday. So I'll be streaming later that day, but that's fine. Sure you guys can wait. Well, she really only cares about it to see Fable and a couple of other games, but like I'd rather watch it with her than just watch it by myself. Last year I watched it by myself and she had to catch up, and this year I'm like, I'll just watch it with her. It'll be more fun that way. Um, but yeah, so Breath of the Wild, the Switch 2 version will work on the Switch 2 without needing an internet connection. However, it does have a firmware update which is actually on the cartridge. So not only is the full game on the cartridge, but the firmware update required to run the game is also available. So I think that's a good idea for people who don't have good internet connections. Um, Mario Kart World will boot up and get to the menus. Obviously, you're not going to have any of the online stuff that comes with that game without an internet connection, but it will boot and it will run. Cyberpunk 2077, same thing. Game is on the cart. It will run. You don't need to have your system online or update anything. It will run. There's a couple other games we tried too, but yeah, it's good to know that at least the games that are out right now, the games are on the cartridge. So that's good because that's something that a lot of people were like in the rumor mill about for Switch 2, that the games are only give you an unlock code or whatnot. And there will be games like that. There will be physical games that do that. There could be special carts that do that. But it's good to know that the ones that are out right now do not require an internet connection to play. So that's good. I thought about like getting Breath of the Wild again because I have it on Wii U, but I kind of want to get it on Switch, but I might just wait and get it on Switch too. Because by then I'll actually start playing it. But no, that's one thing that's good to know because that was a concern of mine that you buy you buy a game for the Switch 2 and it might not even be on the cartridge, but it seems that's not the case. Now, again, the rumor is that that third-party games aren't going to have this, but Cyberpunk 2077 is a third-party game and it is on the cart. So we'll just have to wait and see because those other cartridges are coming. They did announce them. The ones that are like don't have the game on them. I'm just going to move something that's getting in my way here. But so far, it's good to know that some of the games are going to be on the cartridge itself, which is good. It's just like with my pal SCR. He when he first started playing Monster Hunter Wilds, he played it with his with the Ethernet cable disconnected from his PS5, and it worked fine. The game didn't need downloads or anything. Of course, like if you want to play the new content, yeah, you're gonna have to be connected. But we're at least where we are right now with the Switch 2, your physical games will still work even if you don't have an internet connection. And I think that's something that they knew was going to have to be a thing because people play it in handheld all the time. I don't know why people suddenly thought that the Switch 2 would be like, would go after this. Now, again, we always got to be cautious because we saw what happened nearly 10 years ago with the Xbox One. When that thing came out, they wanted always online. They wanted it so you couldn't like. They wanted to control the used game market, needed a license key, whatever, all this stuff. That pretty much went away as soon as the backlash hit. And I think the one thing that is really that has been proven is Nintendo is doing good on their new privacy policy, or their new policy, which is you tamper with your system, we can brick it at any time. And so people have found if they use the flash carts for the original Switch and the Switch 2, it will actually brick the system and it'll get stuck in a boot loop. Now, that doesn't mean that it's completely dead, whatever. I'm sure at some point there's going to be like a public firmware patch that you can reapply yourself, but does that ban your system? We don't know. So we don't know the extent of what it does right now. So for now, if you have a Switch flash cart, just don't put it in your Switch 2. Not until there's some kind of fix or patch or something that will allow it to bypass that. Not that I have one. I don't. But I know there are people out there who do. So, but yeah. So, long and short of it is, the Switch 2 is not as doom and gloom as we thought. It's still not great, but back to the fun. Yes. We're going to start off with the Accessibility Summer Showcase, and then later on at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be back, probably with friends, to do the official Summer Games Fest presentation, as well as the Day of the Devs and Devolver's Digital's Direct, the Devolver Direct. There's a lot of stuff happening today and tomorrow and Sunday, so I'll be trying to cover as much of it as I can. Bearing in mind that my computer doesn't decide to eat itself during this. It's been good the last few days, but it's I know that anything could happen. So I'm not gonna push things. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna do this as safely as I can, and then once Summer Games Fest is over, I'm going to work on fixing the problem that my computer's had. Which I don't know if I told you guys, but I found out the problem. It's the NVMe drive in my computer. It has the boot manager on it, and now I had the NVMe drive as an issue like a couple years ago, 2 years ago. So I just put another SSD in my computer and installed Windows on that. But as it turns out, when you install Windows, if there's already a boot manager somewhere on the computer, even if it's another drive, it doesn't install it onto the next drive, which is stupid. So if I take the NVMe out of my computer won't boot because it's required right now. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to basically take the NVMe out, completely wipe my system after backing it up, of course, and then reinstall Windows on the SSD so that it knows that that's the drive to boot from. Boot from there, please. And then just keep the NVMe out of my system because it's been a problem for the last couple of years. So, any other, since we've got more people in the chat, like Indra, Dro, we got a couple, we got Floyd. Any predictions you guys have for Summer Games Fest? Anything you want to see? Anything you'd like to in particular? I think, like I said, I'm rooting for Capcom stuff. I want to see some more Resident Evil. I want to see some more Mega Man, which is wishful thinking, I know, but I want to see more of it. I'd like to let's think of some other things I'd like to see. I'd like to see see, a lot of the things I wanted to see have already been I guess greenlit. I don't know. I guess my expectations are up in the air because I don't know what to see. Like I said, Kingdom Hearts 4 information might be nice. Something from Fable that's not a pre-rendered trailer would be nice. Something from Elder Scrolls 6, but we probably won't get anything because the Oblivion remake just came out, and as we learned, don't believe anything Todd Howard says. They're quote-unquote working on Elder Scrolls 6. They still don't have a name for it. So are they working on it? Probably yes, but we probably won't see anything at least for another year or so. That's what I predict. I don't think they would have saved stuff for this. They probably aren't at that point yet. They probably showed what they had, which was shots of people working on the game. So yeah. I'd like to see another collection. I still am gunning for a Legends collection, like a Mega Man Legends collection, but I think we're gonna get a Star Force collection before that. I have a feeling that's gonna happen. I'm sure we'll get something. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get something. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't played Oblivion Remastered because I haven't been buying new games because I haven't been able to afford them. But I do want to play it. Oblivion's my favorite Elder Scrolls game, so I I do definitely want to play it. But if I get it, I'm probably gonna get it for PS5. I want to know when that actually when that Kirby is it out already? The Kirby DLC that's on Switch 2. I mean, I don't have plans to get a Switch 2 anytime soon. Like I'm not like oh, I need to get one like right now, you know what I mean? Um I've got plenty of games to play. Plus I just got the PS5 this year. Um so I'm playing catch up on that. I still need to play the Silent Hill games. I need to play the Silent Hill downloaded game and the remake of 2, which I said I was going to do a long time ago. But at this point I think I'm going to save that for October. And then I'm probably going to pick up Silent Hill F after I finish 2. I think that'll be what I'll do. I still haven't done. I was just saying this yesterday or the other day to Blondie and the guy and the others at RCG. Like I haven't. I still haven't played Separate Ways in Resident Evil 4 remake, and it's been out for like like what 2 years now, almost. So I need to do that too. I'd like to get Dead Space remake as well for PS5 and play that because it's gone down in price. And I recently watched a video talking about it, and apparently, like, yeah, there's changes that some people don't like, but apparently it runs and looks better than the original. So maybe I'll do that at some point. Um, I got to get through my Switch library. I still got to get through Astrobot. I still got to get through um, get on to Ratchet and Clank. I still got to get through. I still got to get to Far Cry 6. I know, Drew, you're gonna probably say something about that. You're gonna remind me not to forget about it, but I haven't forgot. It's in my queue. I just need to get through my games. But no, yeah. In terms of like, I think the next console I'll buy if I get one would probably be the Analog Duo, which is the analog's version of the Turbo Duo. Just because I have a library of games for the PC Engine, and I'd like to start collecting for TurboGrafx. And it seems like the best option to get. It's like it's almost as much to buy a Turbo Duo as it is to get the Analog Duo. So it's like, why not get the Rolls Royce of consoles for a little bit more than the what the actual console goes for. So I think that's probably what I'm going to save up for next when it comes to consoles. Even though I'm not going to be buying consoles anytime soon. I bought the PS5 thanks to you guys, so that was it for me for a while. I'll focus on other stuff. Oh, excuse me. Drink more of my coffee to wake me up. Jeez, I've only been up for like 3 hours now. Eh, 2.5. But yeah, no. Well, this thing's about to start in a few minutes, so I think we're just gonna switch over. And yeah. Some stuff I might get Switch to, but not until later. Yeah, that's my thing. There's some stuff I want on the Switch. Obviously, I want Mario Kart World and I want Donkey Kong Bonanza. But I'm not like I don't need it yet. And I didn't. And also, here's the thing: like when I got my Switch in 2018 because that was my 30th birthday present to myself. And I kind of regret part of it because the new models of the Switch 2 were coming out, or new models of the Switch were coming out. Like both my friend Corey and my brother had the Monster Hunter ones, and I wish I had waited and gotten the Monster Hunter one. So I'm like, by the time I can get a Switch 2, different like special editions will be out, and I'll get one of those. Um, Once there's something on there substantially that's going to be exclusive for it that I absolutely want, like an ad's going to play here in a second. I'm just going to let it play because this thing's going to start and I'd rather not have it interrupt during. One thing I do like I am looking at for is probably a new Pokemon game that's exclusive for it. Even though I'm not going to pre-order Pokemon until they start doing things again. Like not going to pre-order games in general because I want to see what games are like before I spend money on them. I still want to get my hands on some things. So Anyways, guys, an ad is going to play, but I'm going to let it... I could have snoozed it, but I'm going to let it play out because we are... this thing's about to start, and I don't want you guys to miss any of it, so... I think it's supposed to start in 60 seconds, it says. Unmute. Oh, premiere will begin shortly. Okay, here we go. You guys ready for this? I know I am. Just gonna move myself over a little bit. There we go. Premiere will begin shortly. Okay, it's 11 a.m. You gonna start? And my ad break ends just in time. Many cats? I'm one of those.
Hello everyone, I'm Laura Kate Dale, better known online as Laura K. Buzz, and I'm here to welcome you to the Accessibility Summer Showcase 2025. I'm a white woman with bright blue hair, shaved short on one side. I'm wearing glasses and a Pac-Man t-shirt. I know you're here for the video game trailers, so I'll try to keep my introduction brief. Over the next 45 minutes or so, you're going to see a bunch of trailers for upcoming video games. Some of them are being made by disabled game developers, and all of them are being designed to be accessible to as wide a range of disabled players as possible.
Okay.
We can't promise that every video game in the showcase will be playable by every person tuning in, but our aim is to make sure that if a game seems exciting, you know upfront whether or not you're going to be able to play it. Our hope is that for most of you tuning in, there will be at least a handful of games shown in the showcase that will have the correct mix of accessibility settings and features that you need to be able to play the game upon release. If you want to see most of today's games in one place, organised by accessibility support type, you can check out our Steam event page by going to bit.ly/Summer Showcase 2025.
I love her hair, by the way.
There you'll find demos for each game, as well as being able to wishlist any that catch your eye. This year's showcase is sponsored by Many Cat Studios, an innovative game development studio creating new solutions to barriers in gaming through recruitment or engaging with video games.
Okay.
The Accessibility Summer Showcase is available with American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and audio-described versions every year, and Many Cat Studios' support this summer was vital in helping us to produce these additional versions of the event. Well, that's enough from me. Let's jump into the game trailers.
Alright.
Welcome to Chromagun 2, a first-person puzzle shooter where color is the key to solving intricate challenges.
Oh.
Like Portal 2, but instead of portals you control droids.
I was about to say that.
Mechanical assistants that are drawn to walls of the same
It's like
color.
Portal, but like
Need to guide a
colors.
droid? Just paint the walls. Mix colors to open new paths, solve puzzles, and outsmart the game's many clear obstacles. But that's just the beginning. Because Chromagun 2 is all about color, we knew some players might face difficulties. Those with color blindness or vision impairments could struggle to differentiate between key elements of the game. That's why we created the colorblind mode, a revolutionary accessibility feature designed to make Chromagun 2 playable for as many players as possible.
Oh my god.
In colorblind mode, colors are
The company's
represented by
called
unique
Die Hard,
symbols.
DYE.
Blue is marked with a circle, red a vertical line, yellow a triangle. Every color-coded object in the game is assigned a clear, intuitive symbol. And with symbol tracking, players can easily follow color interactions in real time,
That's a smart
making
idea.
puzzles more accessible than ever before. And what about mixed colors? We've got that covered. Just like in traditional color theory, combining blue and red creates purple. In colorblind mode, this means the blue circle and red line merge into a new recognizable symbol, a circle with a stripe. This system ensures that colorblind players can experience every puzzle every challenge and every moment of Chromagon 2 without compromise.
Oh, so there's the Chromagon 1? Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. This looks interesting, especially if you like Portal.
Chromagon 2, a first-person puzzler
Chromagon 2
with
Die
colors,
Hard.
also accessible for people with color blindness.
That's not the name of the company, it's the subtitle of the game. That's funny. Die Hard.
Spray Paint Simulator is a relaxing and satisfying game that allows you to express your
The opposite
creativity
of
as you take items
Power
from
Wash
drab
Simulator.
to
Spray
fab.
Paint Simulator.
You'll start your own spray painting business, meet with some of Splatterville's most eccentric clients, and fulfill their requests.
Splatterville, eh?
You'll manage your
Splats or
equipment and
spats.
supplies, start each task by prepping your space, and then paint to perfection. After completing jobs, you
I
can
know some
unlock
people
free
who
spray
really
mode,
want to play this game.
allowing you to paint everything you can reach to your heart's content, alone or with a friend. The team at North Star Video Games, in collaboration with Whitethorn Games, has worked hard to make sure that their game can be played by as many people as possible, and has implemented a number of features to increase accessibility. In Spray Paint Simulator, complete jobs at your own pace. There are no time penalties, and you can leave a job at any point and pick up right where you left off the next time you play.
Okay.
You also have the option of skipping the preparation phase so you can jump right into painting. Use the task highlight feature to show areas you need to mask or paint. You can edit the duration of the highlight so it stays visible longer, and you can change the highlight color so it will stand out no matter what color you're painting with. There are a variety of options to fine-tune how you play, making sure that your spray tool is perfectly suited to your preferences. Toggle between tap and hold inputs, adjust the size of controller dead zones, and separately adjust the sensitivity of camera movements while walking and spraying. You can also use aim mode to keep the camera still while you move the spray tool, allowing you to paint details with ease.
Okay. Well, that's good.
For better visual accessibility, you can customize the amount of camera smoothing, increase reticle size, and set the field of view between 40 and 90 degrees.
See, all games, I feel like all
There
games
are also
should have these
separate audio
options.
channels for ambient sound effects, spraying sound effects, and music, as well as a choice of stereo or mono audio.
That's
As
such a good
always,
idea.
you can get the full details about the accessibility features available in this and any of our titles by visiting whitethorngames.com and clicking on the accessibility section.
Even though I don't always
hope
need
you
them, I
enjoy
sometimes
playing
use
Spray Paint
accessibility
Simulator,
features
available now on
to
Steam,
make the game experience more smooth
Xbox
for
Series
myself.
X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, Xbox Game Pass, and PlayStation 5 and 4, and will be available on Nintendo Switch on June 19th.
Okay.
We here at Accessibility recognise that the needs of blind gamers are often overlooked by the games industry at large, with relatively few game developers and publishers tackling making their games accessible for partially sighted or sightless blind players. So, every year we make an effort to find new, interesting and creative games to showcase that are aiming to be playable by a wide range of blind gamers, ideally without requiring sighted assistance. This year, as part of our push to showcase more blind accessible games, we paid attention to the Games for Blind Gamers Game Jam, an event in its 4th year trying to encourage creative game design exploration focused on blind player accessibility. That said, I'm not blind myself, so I'm going to hand this over to someone who was involved in this year's event, so they can tell you about the games that won
That's
and
cool.
some interesting projects that you might want to keep an eye on.
Hello there, this is Piotr. I was one of the judges for the Games for Blind Gamers 4 Jam. Being a part of this event, both as a judge and also just a gamer participating and trying out all the games, was honestly really amazing. Because the Game Jam itself is not new, we've had a couple before, but I think this year was really unique in terms of quality and the kinds of games we had before. Because what often people gravitate toward when they think of a game accessible to blind gamers is usually really simple concepts, like a simple maze where you're trying to find your way out, or like a Simon type game where you have to repeat sounds based on by pressing buttons, for example. Well, this year we got a lot of unique games that I think set the bar much higher and showed that blind people can play much more complex games even. And the winner that we picked was one of just many amazing examples. Actually, picking a winner this year was incredibly difficult. And the game that ended up ultimately winning, called Unseen Awakening, was really cool because it kind of subverted the blind protagonist trope, which is also something that was really popular, where some blind person saves the day by swinging a sword around, for example. Well, in this game, you are a blind person saving the world, but you're not the main hero. You're just part of a group of heroes, and actually, you're not the one attacking. You're doing the healing for the party, and also occasionally stunning the enemies or keeping them at bay. And that game was amazing, both in terms of the voice acting, the music, the sound effects, and the idea, which even though was kind of simple, just was, I think, just really interesting. And that's really scratching the surface. We had a very hard time picking our winner.
Perfect enemy to test your abilities. Keep using your spells on me, though. Canetto! Press space to start the battle.
Is it?
My sword has been feeling a little parched. Canetto! Now my blade will blur in the wind. Canetto! Leonardo! My blade will blur in the wind.
Oh, that is the gameplay. Okay.
We had some other really amazing games. We had a trading simulator where you're on a boat that where you can also do tricks and ride the waves while you're moving from port to port with some complex navigation added in. We had a very fun, cozy game called Barista where you are running a coffee shop and you need to serve customers some different beverages. And the customers are just very entertaining, and the game itself has a very cozy and chill vibe with some amazing voice acting.
Intuitive much? Try making a single shot espresso. Gotcha! You're not holding a cup. Works every time.
One double espresso in a small cup and one long espresso in a medium cup.
And then we had even more complex games, like, for example, Necromancer Nonsense, which is a full-on RTS. And these kinds of games show that blind people can play even much more involved games, assuming that you have text-to-speech and maybe some additional keyboard shortcuts, so you can, for example, look around a map in an RTS and see what's going on, and some additional audio cues. But even the simpler ideas that we had were done in a really interesting way. We also had games that were not only accessible to blind gamers, but also people with other disabilities. For example, we had a zombie survival game controlled with just one button that also had amazing audio. We had roguelikes, we had some more traditional maze games as well. But it's really just showed how creative you can get, and some of the games you can have that are both blind accessible, but also really fun. Something else that came out of this jam is an amazing community, both of developers who have taken their knowledge and took it to their future projects, gaming or otherwise. An amazing community of gamers and developers.
By the way, Indra, I think I found out it's going to be the RPG style.
So if you are a developer thinking of making your game blind friendly, it can be done. And there are a lot of us who are very hungry for more games, even if they're more complex ones. We definitely need more very complex games in our community. And I think this Jamboree also showed that it can be done. All of the Jam developers have also come up with some really awesome resources. There is a wiki and a Discord community with some very awesome people on it. And if you would like to try making a blind-friendly game, then please
I love how I was like, where are the visuals for a game made for blind people?
We are planning more events like this. And even outside of that, if you want to add some blindness accessibility features to your game, please do. There are many people out there who will be willing to test the game for you, provide feedback, and obviously when the game actually comes out, play and enjoy it.
That makes me think,
and of course, if you want to see how it can be done and also have a lot of fun along the way, please do check out all the entries that were submitted this year. Not just the ones that won, but also really every other game that was out that was submitted, because they were really accessible, really well made, and of course, I think the most important, really fun.
Thank you so much to everyone who brought this year's Games for Blind Gamers Game Jam to my attention. It has been home to so many truly fantastic games that I highly recommend people check out.
Cool.
You can
Really
find
cool.
the Game Jam and try out all of the entries at bit.ly/blindgamers. The RPG about casting healing magic was The Unseen Awakening. The trading simulator set on a lake was called Lacus Opportunitas. The coffee shop game was called Barista. And the real-time strategy game was called Necromancer Nonsense. Please explore the full list of submissions. We only had limited time today to highlight a few favourites, but there are so many great submissions this year worth playing.
Hi everyone, Wobbly Gamer here, accessibility advocate and junior accessibility specialist at Manycat Studios. When Laura came to me and asked me to tell you all why accessibility is important, the first thing that came to mind for me was a story from an event I was at in 2023. I was volunteering on a stand put together by Adapt IT. It was an accessible gaming stand with a number of accessible gaming setups, and we were allowing people to come and experience accessibility firsthand, whether disabled, abled, or a gamer. And we had this young family come to the stand. The young girl herself was 6-7 years old, had quite bad cerebral palsy, was currently in a walker, and she was Paw Patrol mad. All she wanted to do was play Paw Patrol, and she couldn't. So we got her set up on the accessible kit from Xbox, got her set up on that, and she started playing Paw Patrol. Her mum started crying, her dad started crying.
Yeah, Xbox is really
her
on
excitement
the
was just so unreal.
on the
which
cutting edge
led
with their
to
accessibility
me
controller.
And Simon from Adapt IT both crying, and for me that really hammered home why accessibility is important, because we don't do it for us. We do.
I kind of
for
want to get one of the Xbox
enjoyment of
accessibility
others.
controllers just to fool
And
around
for
with,
me,
to see
you
what I
can't
can do with
recreate
it.
that. It was a young girl that was that excited to be playing a game. She couldn't handle her emotions, and she burst into tears. And I think for me, that's what it's all about. It's about making a difference.
I'd love to do a game
I'm
like
Darsington
Doom
of the
with one of those
two-person
controllers.
indie
see what
studio
it's like.
Darsal Games, and I'll be showcasing the accessibility features for the 2 games we've released so far.
Let's give her
I have
6
chronic
stories.
hand pain and limited manual dexterity, and so we design our games to accommodate people with similar issues. As a gamer, I'm limited in what kinds of games I
I'm
can
not
play, so
disabled,
we're making
but,
more
like,
games for people like me. What
I've
that
been getting,
means
my
is
carpal
our
tunnel's been
games
getting
don't have any
bad,
time
worse
pressure.
every year, so
They can be
having
played
games
with a
that, like,
mouse
make it a
or
little
keyboard
easier
or a
to play
controller. Players never have to
definitely
hold
something I can
down a
get
button
behind.
or do button combos. Control remapping is supported through Steam, and we make official configurations for one-handed play. In our first game, Quest Giver, you play as an NPC giving out quests to heroes, but your manager is looking for any excuse to fire you, and the local heroes have little patience for a mere NPC. It's sort of a management visual novel. In each scenario, you choose appropriate quests for the heroes in your roster to help them to level up, as well as navigate dialogue choices to try to get one of the good endings. Quest Giver is a text-heavy game, so for ease of reading we've included 2 font options, a retro pixel font or an easier-to-read sans serif curvy font, and also the ability to show dialogue text instantly instead of spooling it out and thus reducing motion. This puts the emphasis on the game's story rather than the mechanics, so you can focus on getting fired or assassinated, destroying the entire world, falling in love, joining a cult, starting a mutiny, getting seduced by a demon, and more.
Oh.
Our second game is Six-Sided Stories. It's a chill puzzle game with relaxing lo-fi beats and cute animals. Six-Sided Stories is like a jigsaw puzzle, but instead of placing each piece, you flip and color them correctly.
See, this would
Each
be my
puzzle
kind of
image
puzzle
leads
game.
into the next one, following the adventures of a calico cat who meets new friends. As you move forward in the story, the puzzles get trickier, with more pieces and finer details. In terms of
This is my kind of
accessibility,
puzzle game.
in Six-Sided Stories, the relevant features are baked into the game design itself. Since it's like a jigsaw puzzle, you can play at the pace you want and there's no fail state. There's no text at all in the game, greatly increasing accessibility. Color is an important aspect of the game, and so the palette and puzzle pieces were made with this in mind to accommodate colorblind players. And finally, there are 2 hint systems. You can view the full puzzle image at any time, like looking at the
Look
top
at that
of the
scuba
box,
cat in the corner.
and an incorrect
Scuba
piece
cat.
will occasionally wiggle to catch your attention. Six-Sided Stories is designed to be accommodating to players who
something
just
I
want to
forgot.
relax and work through some cute puzzles. I mentioned earlier that I have chronic hand pain and limited manual dexterity, and this affects me as a game developer and as a player. So I've learned to do all of my coding by voice using a piece of software called Talon Voice. Here's a quick demonstration. If block, camel should show menu, go down, declaration table. It took me months, if not years, to get good at programming like this, and I haven't really found a way to make art hands-free, but I can't let these challenges stop me from making the games of my dreams. Our studio's goal is to make our games playable by anyone who wants to play them, so we're doing our best to make our games accessible, as well as making sure that they run on low-spec computers. We are just 2 novice developers, so we're always open to feedback about how to make our games more accessible. Please get in touch if you have any suggestions.
Six-Sided Stories is actually looks really fun.
And if you like the look of Questgiver or Six-Sided Stories, they're both available on Steam now.
I'm not a big puzzle person, but I might add that to my Steam
Soul
wishlist.
Blaze is a creature-collecting roguelite for PC, Mac, and Linux, in which you capture and train animals to challenge and defeat the boss of each region.
Animal collector?
Combat evolves around rolling and spending dice to activate your moves, called tricks. Different effects can make your moves even stronger, such as rolling a double or matching the colors, allowing for building around certain strategies by matching trick effects and dice.
I'm adding Six-Sided
Soul
Stories
Blaze
to my,
features a selection of accessibility settings, which I'm constantly improving and adding to, such as the text-to-speech mode, which features screen reader support for native OS text-to-speech systems and NVDA. During a battle, all relevant information is read out to you.
Wild battle started. You summoned Kalbu, wild enemy, Diff Dagwa. Available tricks. 2.
This might be
Press C
interesting.
to hear
I'm
all
not a big
controls.
roguelite person,
Press
but...
enter to begin battle. New turn. Rolling dice. Rolled 4, 2, 6 EXP. Diff Dagwa will use snap. Selected 4.
But if you want to know more, you can always use the inspect button to get details.
Inspect mode on. Snap. Rarity. Decent. Critical chance. 6%. Damage. 2. Cost. 3. Precise. If you pay this skill exact, it gains bonus potency equal to its cost.
By pressing left or right, you can get immediate details over your Anemon or the opponent, including visual descriptions.
Diff Dagwa, a mix between a frog and a newt. It has a blue body with green spots and a white belly. 2 sets of external gills decorate its cheeks. It has lavender eyes and is looking gentle. Anemones are growing from its back.
You can play the game with a mouse, keyboard, or gamepad, and even touch if you're playing on the Steam Deck. And you can remap all controls in the settings. For players with color vision deficiency, I have made sure to pair all color information with icons. Additionally, you can fully customize colors of UI categories,
because that's the part
such
that
as
I care about.
Anemon elements, rarities, or positive and negative effects.
Because that's the part that I care about.
Other
Can you
UI
keep your
features are
monsters after you
enabling
die?
the Open Dyslexic font and scaling the UI elements or the text size. With the difficulty customizations, you can select how many dice the enemy has, how much damage you receive or deal, including invincibility, that you defeat enemies with 1 hit, or that capture rate is always 100%. If Soul Blaze has piqued your interest, give the demo a try and wishlist the game. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, Laura here again. This next game is a title that I think is tackling a deeply important topic, but one that's not often covered in video games, and is being approached from a more hopeful perspective than you might expect given its initial pitch. The game touches on difficult themes, in this case, life after childhood sexual abuse. I believe this game has incredible potential and is really worth showcasing, but I wanted to give people a moment of heads up as to not be caught off guard by the topic. I hope you check out the trailer. I do think this game is doing something incredibly special and important.
Okay.
Wednesdays is a hope-filled narrative game about growing up after child sexual abuse. It is meant to be played by everyone, gamer or not. The game alternates between 2 phases: the park, which is a simplistic theme park management game, and the memories, which play like a visual novel or an interactive comic. Both can be played with a mouse, a keyboard, an Xbox controller, or any combination of those. Wednesday's first launch will always be in windowed mode to allow the use of various accessibility tools. The settings are accessible from the start and at any time during the game. Wednesdays being a narrative game, a lot of care has been put into the accessibility of text. Players can advance in the story manually by clicking or pressing a button, or they can choose to have the text scrolling automatically with 3 different speeds available.
I think I'd have to bring this back.
The park and the memories use different fonts, but each of them can be replaced by a highly legible alternative font. 5 font sizes are available, from very small to very big. If you skip a line by mistake or want to refresh your memory, all the previously played dialogues are available in the diary. The text is always highly contrasted, and all the color palettes were chosen with different degrees of colorblindness in mind. No essential information is ever transmitted by color. In the park, the cursor movement speed can be adjusted. The drag and drop can be deactivated, as well as the animations, if they turn out to be annoying or distracting. The music and ambient sound volume, as well as the sound effect volume, can be adjusted independently. The game contains no 3D audio effect, and all important sound effects are dubbed with a visual onomatopoeia. Wednesdays requires no precision, nor speed, nor complex sequence of actions. It contains no flashing lights, no haptic feedbacks, and never requires to hold down a button. The game is available on Steam, but also on itch.io for those who don't want to create an account, nor learn how to use the complicated Steam client.
This is Heartspell, Horizon Academy, the upcoming puzzle-based dating sim with heartwarming stories and 11 lovable characters. Accessibility is at the core of Heartspell and guides its writing and design. The branching narrative gives players choices at every turn, with romantic and friendship paths for every character.
This is like a safe-for-work version of what's it called?
The puzzles are
game.
challenging, but have no
dating
time
game.
pressure. And at any time, players can adjust the difficulty or remove the puzzles entirely. To make the story as accessible as possible, Heartspell offers dyslexia-friendly fonts and an option to increase font sizes. All 280,000 words of Heartspell's story are voiced by our cast of talented actors.
Calm down. I know what a date is. Probably awesome at dates. How hard can it be?
Oh, babe,
I know that voice.
there are plenty of fish in the sea, and no reason not to date all of them.
Heartspell also has more specific options like arachnophobia mode, and the team is always taking community suggestions for ways to make the game even more inviting.
Wow, you're amazing! Tasty! Yes. Yeah.
Heartspell has a free demo with over 90 minutes of content to introduce its wondrous world and memorable characters. I hope I'll see you there.
Here is Gales of Nayeli, a narrative-driven strategy RPG from Blind Cocoa Studios.
Interesting.
As a colorblind developer, we believe that strategic depth shouldn't come at the cost of accessibility. As a result, Gales of Nayeli has been built from the ground up with lack of color vision in mind, and is jam-packed with other accessibility features and gameplay modifiers to help tailor the game to your needs. For instance, there are options to receive more strategic advice from Daisy, the helpful fairy, or to make faction indicators more visible to differentiate your friends from enemies in the heat of battle. The effect hits can also be toned down to reduce eye strain during battle animations, and controls can be remapped to make the game fully playable with only a mouse, a keyboard, or controller if needed. Finally, if you're here to enjoy the story with a more relaxed play experience in mind, you can turn on Ideal
Honey
Growth
Pop, that was the
mode,
one I was thinking of.
which
Thank
will
you.
ensure your units always grow to their maximum potential. Gales of Nayeli is made by strategy RPG fans, and we want as many people as possible to
Like
enjoy
this looks like
If you liked what you saw,
Fire
feel free to
Emblem.
try out the demo available on Steam and wishlist the game so you don't miss the game's launch this summer.
Some good stuff.
Hi there, my name is Arevia, and I'm a disabled and chronically ill content creator and accessibility advocate from Norway. And I'm also Laura's co-host on the podcast Control All Access. I'm born with a brain injury called cerebral palsy, and I also have arthritis, and due to that, I play games with my feet. Yes, you did hear right, I have a dual setup where I use both my hands and my feet to play games, and it makes it so that I can play a game without any pain. I have a burning passion for game
I would
accessibility.
like to have
and
those
when I saw a
controllers
game that
just
has
to have
added
additional like
accessibility
foot pedal
and
support.
are from my own home country was going to be on this show, I knew I needed to present them. So all the way from the land of Fjord and Fjell, I give you Sunlight by Krillbite Studio.
Sunlight, eh?
Hi, we're Krillbite Studio, and we wanted to give you guys an update on our game, Sunlight. In addition to the existing subtitles, we've added audio description to the game, making it accessible for more people, so they can enjoy this philosophical hike through a beautiful forest.
Oh, Sim.
Here's how it plays out.
Audio, controls, accessibility, subtitles.
That's one on The Sims.
On. Text
It's a walking
size
sim.
large. I'm ready.
The sunbeam shines brighter on the leaf. The leaf stem starts growing. New leaves and branches spring from it as it grows into a tall, lively tree in a lush forest.
Welcome. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you focused? And not thinking about whatever's bothering you these days? I'm not here to test you. Please, relax.
Walk in the forest and listen for the sounds of flowers. Keyboard controls. Move forward with W, left with A, right with
isn't
B,
really my
and
kind of
backwards
thing,
with
but,
S.
like, I kinda-
Pick up and lay
damn.
down flowers with space.
I kind of want to like switch this one too. It's only like $3.50. Probably cheaper if you're
Sunlight is a
American.
calm experience with no fail state, no rush, and no pressure to complete it. No matter where you go,
My brother might
you'll
like this
end
because
up
he
in
likes
the
flow
right
and
place.
flower and all those.
Follow this sound to find flowers. You are now standing by a flower. Press space to pick it up. You've picked up one flower.
Until it turned. A wave of gentle needles moving over my skin.
You are now standing by a flower. Press space to pick it up. You've picked up another flower. The sun sets. It's getting dark. At the outskirts of the forest, there are endless fields of cut tree trunks.
Sunlight's update is out now to experience. Thank you for your attention.
You might have heard about Survival Climber Cairn and thought the game was going to be intense and
Cairn
challenging. Well, this is true. But the team has also put a lot of effort in to make sure people with different skill levels and abilities can enjoy the game. Here's what we've been working on. Cairn is a climbing and alpinism game where you choose your own path and your own difficulty as you overcome a mountain. You need to balance your stamina and your position on the rock face to climb higher. There are no predetermined routes up the mountain, meaning you can choose the one that is right for you. Just be sure to take care of yourself with food and water so the mountain doesn't claim another victim. We think our newest accessibility option is going to be especially impactful, the rewind. This mechanic allows you to undo any action in the game. You can even see your stamina usage on the rewind bar. After a fall, hit the rewind button and you can go right back to where you want to be.
Okay, that's kind of nice.
And then you can keep climbing. Not only can you use rewind to take back a mistake, you can also use it to explore and experiment to make your climbing journey in Cairn yours. Cairn also features fully rewindable controls, so you can make your climb feel just right.
Let's go. Oh my god. Every game needs that. I know the Switch now has it, so you can rebind the controls whenever you want.
And many of the
Every game
difficulty
needs that.
and accessibility settings can be customized in the options. You can enable limb highlighting, or you can even disable quick reaction minigames like the Piton drill. Holt's feedback is also available, so you always know when you have a good grip. And of course, we have 3 difficulty options so you can pick the challenge that's right for you. You can play the demo right now on Steam and PlayStation 5.
Airship's Lost Flotilla is a steampunk bullet hell game where you fight your way through waves of enemies like robot wasps, cultists, and dragons.
Oh, so this is
I've
a,
taken care to make the game as accessible as possible
this
in a
is a,
variety of ways. The game
Devil
is
Survivor-like?
playable with keyboard, mouse, and controller. With the keyboard,
Whatever you call them.
can switch between tank controls and directional
Auto
controls
shooter?
for most ships. And of course, the controls are remappable. If you prefer to play with the mouse,
we got one auto shooter.
activate ship follows cursor. Finally, you can use either stick or the D-pad or your
Oh, we had a
control the
roguelike
ship.
as well.
Visually,
what am I doing?
it's of course fun when there's lots of particles and explosions and so on, but it can also be overwhelming or make important information hard to see. So there's detailed visual settings. You can toggle particles, animations, explosion flashes, damage numbers, and screen shake. You can adjust the visibility of the background to be muted or pure dark grey. And there's a color highlighting mode which turns enemies and enemy shops bright red and pickups either blue or green while muting all other colors. Finally,
Sorry,
there
I'm
are
not bored,
two
I'm just-
gameplay options worth
coffee hasn't
mentioning.
fully kicked in
You
yet.
can turn off permadeath and you can freely adjust the game's speed. I hope that with these options, you can customize the game for your maximum enjoyment. Check
Hell
out
yeah.
the game on Steam, and if you have any suggestions for my accessibility controls, let me know.
Hi everyone, my name is Danny Brennan, also known as Dannyline online. My pronouns are they them, and I'm a white person lying in bed, wearing a purple top, hat and glasses, surrounded by penguins.
Penguins.
Being chronically ill isn't fun, but when I'm well enough, gaming is the best distraction from symptoms such as pain, and it gives me something to talk about with others, making me less isolated despite living mostly in bed. My hands don't always work all that well, so being able to use different control schemes is really important. On bad hand days, the only way I can play games is with a touchscreen, which is why I'm thrilled to be able to introduce this next game, which amongst other accessibility options supports touch input, as well as keyboard, mouse and controllers.
Rollick and Roll is a casual puzzle experience inspired by classic Marble Run playsets. By controlling the level itself,
that seems
you'll
fun.
help to guide colourful toy vehicles to their goal. Each button press will manoeuvre a set of corresponding obstacles. These obstacles are distinguished by their contrasting colours and unique shapes. If your vehicle
This is
falls off
getting
the
a,
track,
a wish
a
list as
countdown will alert you to an automatic restart. As you complete each challenge, you'll be rewarded with new vehicles as well as the opportunity to compete at a harder difficulty. More vehicles means more mayhem. However, there are always opportunities to pause and plan your next move. The game's fixed viewpoint maximises comfort for all players, and the flipbook interface helps to maintain visual continuity. Convenient audio-visual cues ensure that literacy is not a requirement to play, although you'll find support for over a dozen languages. Players can rebind keyboard commands to their satisfaction, or choose to operate a gamepad with a single hand. Colour configuration is also available for players to set their own palette.
Cool.
Rollick and Roll is still under development, but please try out the
That's a
demo
neat
on
game.
Steam and tell your friends.
I'm actually kind of surprised.
In Trash Goblin, you play as a cute little goblin running a cute little shop. You
Oh,
dig
this
the
game.
dirt off trinkets, clean them up, and then sell them to customers. Maybe you upcycle them, maybe you make a tidy profit, maybe you invest that gold into your shop, customizing it, expanding it, and trying out new and better tools. And we, the goblins developing it, have been trying out new and better ways to ensure that as many of you as possible can enjoy it. For example, during cleaning play, we've added a dirt highlighter, which helps you find that last little bit of grime, and we chose to colour it blue to accommodate as much of the range of colour vision deficiency as possible. Plus, now we highlight a trinket's edge when the sponge is hovering over it, for extra confidence. The player can navigate their shop with the arrow keys, whilst controlling camera movement speed, and being able to toggle the camera edge movement on or off. You can now also rotate trinkets with the WASD keys, whilst choosing the object rotation speed that suits you best. We added a quest tracker to ensure you always know what to do to meet your customers' needs, even
so
after a
useful.
break from the game. It allows you to find what you need with a simple click of an icon. Plus, it enables you to recall important customers, so you can take your time. And there's the Trinkepedia, handily tracking every trinket you've found, cleaned, upcycled, and sold. Of course, that's on top of everything we showed in last year's accessibility video. There are intentionally no fail states, time pressures, or skill gates. In response to player feedback, we allow players to choose several control modes for cleaning and chipping. All core interactions are achievable with just the mouse, whilst the keyboard can be used for navigation as well. We chose a sans serif font, and we allow you to control the size and speed it displays at. In fact, we recently got nominated for our work on this, which is of course very rewarding, but we're excited to work with our community to learn and to implement even more accessibility features into the game. Trash Goblin is out now on Steam.
This fast-paced first-person retro shooter is Blow Up: Avenge Humanity, a game developed by Half-Sunk Games. The team at Half-Sunk Games provides a series of accessibility features so that everyone may be able to play and enjoy the game. See these enemies? No? We'll increase the outline thickness and even change its color. Now you won't miss them. Is it not enough? Turn on the desaturated background
it's a boomer shooter.
And
it's just a
highlight
straight up boomer
important
shooter.
options to help you see even clearer. This is an extremely frantic
It's not
game,
a roguelike
packed with
or
lots
any of that
action
shit.
and fast movements,
This
which is why
this is good.
it
This is
also
what I
has
want.
accessibility options for UI and screen effects.
Please tell me there's keys available for this game.
Try reducing the opacity of the HUD, or changing the crosshair. Deactivate some more effects and customize the screen to your liking. Last but not least, it's also possible
There
for
is.
players to regulate the amount of screen
it's not
shake
available
they
yet
will
for
experience,
keys.
as
I'm
well as
following it, though.
reducing or increasing their field of view.
This is what I like to see.
People
The
prone to
classic
dizziness
boomer
in
shooter.
first-person games can have an easier time playing. Although we're still working on finding new ways to make the game accessible to all players. If you liked it, please consider wishlisting the game on Steam, join our Discord server, and stay tuned to the Half-Sunk Games and Blow Up socials so you don't miss a single thing about Blow Up: Avenge Humanity.
I'm Zlander Street. I'm a white non-binary person in their mid-30s with a bright green mullet, and I'm wearing a blue hoodie that says Assigned Earth at Birth on it with Intropology.com in tiny letters. My project is called Intropology. It's a narrative-driven queer indie game that's performed live by real actors online. I'm showing you some footage now of different moments in the live performance with actors in webcam views on the left-hand side and an interaction panel on the right, which has things like voting options and text entry boxes. Here, the view of the actors is overlaid with a live coding environment with bits of text code and swirling neon shapes that are being procedurally generated. The show is all about alien anthropologists in a multiverse that faces a cataclysmic breakdown in the nature of reality. Our next performance is on the 15th of June.
Okay, 'cause it's
and you
live
can
only.
register to see it at anthropology.com/tickets. The audience collectively shapes the story through a web app that looks like the main character's janky computer desktop. For example, in this footage, there's a purple taskbar at the top of the screen, and it looks like the actor's webcam view is in a video call program. The UI is all really simple, as if you're using a minimalist version of Linux that you might see on a Raspberry Pi. Our interaction mechanics are a bit like other narrative-driven indie video games. The audience votes for what the main character will say and do. And sometimes they get to write things in that they will say in a stream of consciousness rant. Combining games and theatre in this way allows us to bring interactive theatre to people who experience barriers to in-person venues due to disability, chronic illness, or regional inequality. All of our shows have integrated captions, BSL interpretation, and keyboard-compatible interaction.
How do I look? Oh god, my skin looks so pale in this black wig.
Some audio description is integrated into the script, and we're working on expanding our audio description to include everything that's on screen in a way that reflects the different worlds that our characters inhabit.
The interface you have accessed resembles a dressing table made of holly, inlaid with decorative veneers of ebony, purple heart, and sycamore.
We've designed the experience to be compatible with many of the access accommodations people use for browsing the internet, such as screen readers. But this isn't fully tested, and audio from the screen reader might clash with audio from the performance sometimes. There is also a potential photosensitivity risk in some aspects of our show. Anthropology aims to tell stories about how we'll become smaller and more fragmented, how we can reconnect, and how we can build better worlds together. If that sounds exciting to you, please register for our next performance on the 15th of June. You can register at anthropology.com/tickets.
That's kind of an interesting
Hello,
idea.
everyone. I am Sightless Combat, and I'm very pleased to be back for another edition of the Accessibility Summer Showcase. Thank you so much to the organisers for having me on board for this. It's always great to be able to talk about cool, new, fun, and interesting, and of course, most importantly, accessible games. Now, for those that don't know me, I'm an award-winning multi-credited accessibility consultant and gamer without sight, having never had any sight whatsoever, from the UK, and also accessible gaming officer for RNIB, that is Royal National Institute of Blind People, the UK-based sight loss charity. By way of a description, I'm a white man with light facial hair wearing a cap with my logo on it, a pair of crossed swords intersecting an eye, and in my background is a large amount of gaming memorabilia that I've accumulated over the years as part of what my community has called the Wall of Stuff. Now, as to the game I'm going to introduce to you today, if you're not familiar with it, it's actually one that I've played before in a demo form, and it's from a genre that is kind of accessible by accident or by trial and error, depending on who you ask, and that is rhythm games. Yes, I get to talk about an accessible rhythm game, and I played the demo, I think it was last year, and was very, very pleased and impressed. And I've been keeping an eye on it ever since, and the developers have continued to make updates even to the demo build, and added audio description and a bunch of other interesting, cool accessibility settings like remappable controls, which is great to see. But I'm not going to try and spoil anything other than saying that if you're a fan of Rhythm Heaven and minigames and interesting challenges, then I think this game will probably be for you. But without further ado, I haven't even told you the name of the game yet, so I'm going to introduce to you, from the wonderful folks at Tempo Lab Games, this is Bits and Bops.
Bits and Bops? Oh my god!
Bits and Bops is a collection of original
Nobody tells
rhythm
Sea-Dog.
minigames. Filled with catchy music, snappy gameplay, and gorgeous hand-drawn animation, Bits and Bops is sure to brighten your day.
Bits and Bops?
Bits and Bops is designed to be completely playable without sighted assistance. The game supports text-to-speech narration, with additional narration available to describe visual elements, helping to provide context to each minigame.
Oh, so this is kind of like a minigame thing.
A sparkling blue ocean under a pale blue sky. In the bottom left corner of the frame, an orange cat wearing red shorts and holding a camera stands on the deck of a small boat. The boat bobs gently up and down in the water.
Oh, so this is like,
locomotion. This seal loves to bop the beach ball.
This is kind of like Rhythm
Tap
Heaven.
space to snap a photo. Next, bubbles appear in the water, then a purple seal emerges with a splash.
Interesting.
A multicolored beach ball descends from the top of the frame.
I could see this being a fun game for...
Sometimes he likes to juggle the ball. What a show off. When you hear the bell, get ready to snap 3 photos in a row.
Yeah, this is like Rhythm
Watch
Heaven.
the ball for the timing. Next,
this is
a
cool.
ship's bell sounds and the cat whips his head left and right. The seal emerges from the water and bounces the ball twice, then bops it back into the air on the 3rd hit. Great. Now get out there and snap some photos.
Bits and Bops features more than 20 rhythm minigames, each with simple controls. The game's catchy, upbeat original tunes are sure to have you bopping along, while beautiful hand-drawn 2D art helps bring everything to life.
I know a few
An
people who are really
instruction
into this.
manual sits slightly askew on a wooden table. The camera zooms in to make the top 2 boxes fill the frame. The blocks move smoothly from box 1 to box 2. The window blind is down and the room is dim. The blind lifts to reveal a blue wren on the windowsill where the radio previously sat. The birds talk about their home lives. The wren raises a family and the canary eats chips.
And, with their custom game engine, you can rely on lightning-fast response times as you bop along to the beat. Bits and Bops, releasing soon.
Alright.
Hello everyone, Laura K. Buzz here, quickly popping in one last time. This year's Access Ability Summer Showcase is nearly over, with just one trailer left before we draw to a close.
Oh wow, okay.
I want to very quickly thank everyone whose work allowed this year's Access Ability Summer Showcase to take place. A huge thank you to my wife and editor, Jane, who works incredibly hard to make sure this event every year is as polished as possible. A huge thanks to Brad Galloway, whose work on providing American Sign Language for this showcase every summer has been invaluable. A huge thank you to Sightless Combat, who has narrated the audio-described version of the Summer Showcase for the past 2 years. Thank you so much to every disabled gamer who took time to share their stories in this year's showcase, and every game developer who trusted me to showcase their games this year. And a massive thank you to Many Cat Studios, whose support sponsoring the show this year was instrumental in helping to ensure that our British Sign Language interpreted version of the showcase could go ahead with minimal stress. Currently, the plan is for us to return in December with the first Access Ability
You're just in time
Winter
for the last game
Showcase.
for the showcase.
We had plans to launch the Winter Showcase in 2024,
and then we'll do a
but due
recap.
to some unexpected hurdles, had to push back the event's debut. If you want to see more accessible game trailers, tune in Thursday, December 11th, 2025 at 4 PM UK, 11 AM Eastern, and 8 AM Pacific. This first Winter Showcase will be a test run for making the showcase run twice annually, so tune in if you'd like to see the showcase regularly published every winter going forward.
Okay.
With that said, thank you all so much for tuning in to another Access Ability Summer Showcase. I hope you enjoy our last trailer, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, let's see this.
This is Coming Home, a retro slasher horror game with a focus on home defense. In the dead of night, you hear someone lurking outside, but you are not defenseless. Watch the cameras, barricade your doors, and have your gun at the ready. Our game is inspired by retro slasher classics, but our approach to accessibility is emphatically modern. The game supports directional closed captions. Not only are all sound effects accompanied by closed captioning, but the game can position captions where the sound came from. High contrast mode can render the Sundown Rippers and any interactable elements with brighter, more distinct colors to help distinguish them from the environment. Collectible documents have clean text transcripts to help with readability, as well as visual descriptions. The game also features screen reader support for these transcripts, as well as all UI elements. While the default control scheme uses a keyboard and mouse, you can play the game with only one or the other. Controller support is also implemented. Any mechanics requiring holding an input can be changed to a toggle. Coming Home is presented as an authentic 80s slasher film. The CRT and VHS effects can be toned down or even disabled to enhance readability. Coming Home categorizes all sound effects and allows you to tweak their volumes by category. You can increase the volume of conspicuous sounds revealing the Ripper's positions, but decrease the volume of sound effects that can trigger misophonia.
I like the idea, but I'm not a big
persistent
fan of
crosshair can be enabled to help with motion sickness, as well as an aim cone to visualize the range of the revolver. We're dead set on making sure anyone can play Coming Home, no matter what their preferences are. The Sundown Rippers don't discriminate, and they aren't picky. When it's sundown, no one is safe.
It says survival horror, but it's... You know, I'll add to my wish list. Why not? I do like slasher stuff. Oh no! Rooster Man.
Wishlist Coming Home now on Steam.
Okay. Is it just end? It just ends? There's no thing? Is there a... Okay. See if I can... Yeah, it just ends. Okay, let me see if I can... Let me see if I can, like, bring up a list of games here. Yes, list of games. And search. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna just see if I can find a list of games for this. I may have to bring up Steam, but let's see. I have to bring up the Steam page. Summer Showcase 2025. Okay, let me search. Go to Steam. Here we go. Okay. Accessibility, Summer Showcase. We just watched that. Let's see event details. Okay. No. Okay. Let's see if it lists the game. Okay, so it does list some of the games. Okay. So I'm going to turn this back on. I'm not logged into Steam here, and I'm sorry, you guys are only going to be seeing part of the window here because it's cut off. But let me see if I can make this a little better. So, one sec. Don't really want to readjust my window capture, but I may have to for this one. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to rearrange that. Let me see if I can just do a new capture here. Hold on. I can't game capture it, can I? Window. No, it won't let me capture that for the game capture. Okay. Well, I could just do a display capture, I guess, and then change it. I don't really want to do display capture, but this might be the easiest way to do things. Okay, so display capture, and I'm just going to do this. So that's not there. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty impressed with this showcase, to be honest. Like, it's not, is it perfect? No. There's definitely some things to criticize as you do, but I'm generally impressed with a lot of the games. I actually wishlisted most of these games. Blow Up looks sick. Quest Giver's interesting. I think the highlights for me are Blow Up, Heart Spell, Gales of Nayeli, Chroma Gun 2. Just like see more of these. These are just demos. Bits and Boops, like Soul Blaze looks interesting. That's a roguelike I actually kind of want to check out. Six Sided Stories is a puzzle game I'm actually interested in checking out. A lot and Coming Home, while I'm initially like I was put off by the gameplay, I mean I might be able to get into. So there, I'm genuinely impressed with the output of this. So not just because of the accessibility features that have been put into a lot of these games. Like, I'm genuinely impressed with the games they showed at this. This is what Wholesome Direct should be like. I'm very concerned that Wholesome Direct going to suck again this year. But if it means we're going to get more stuff like this, then I'm okay with, taking something like that. Like, these are things from previous years. Like, these look good. Brock is one game I'm definitely interested in. I need to play. So that's kind of cool that they've got. I'm going to have to look through the stuff from previous years. Because I missed out on the showcase last year. So I got to say, like, good stuff from this, like, so far. Like, I'm genuinely impressed with what they showed. And so, like, good on you, Accessibility Showcase. Like, yeah, Brock looks good. But, like, I'm genuinely impressed. A lot of these games are available on Steam. And on Itch and other things. So some of them are coming to console, which is cool. But yeah, I'm genuinely impressed with what they showed in this showcase today. Like, I genuinely, like, I'm like, there's some good stuff here. And I actually really want to play some of these games. Like, Soul Blaze, like, I still want to know how the roguelite elements work. Like, do you get to keep your monsters and you just lose power-ups and stuff? Because I think that would be enough for me to want to play it. And Sunlight, initially I was like, it's not for me, but it's like a cool atmospheric game. I could see myself playing that. I think the one that really really stood out to me was Six-Sided Stories, because I'm not a big puzzle game person, and this looks like a puzzle game I could actually get into and play and not feel like I'd be like, struggling. I know it's good. The difficulty will go up as time goes on, but it legitimately looks like a puzzle game that I would like. And I did apply for a code for this, so if we get it, I will stream it. Yes, blow up like a boomer shooter. This looks like it was made for me. Like, great stuff. We got to see more of the accessibility features in Karen, even though Karen's not really a game I'm interested in. It's kind of neat to see the accessibility features that are available in it. Like, to make, like, it even made me think, I'm like, oh, I might actually be able to play this and not feel like I'm struggling playing it because of the features they added in. So, yeah, just Heartspell, like, basically, like we were saying, it's safe for work honey pop, essentially. Will it be as hard as that? I don't know, but it's interesting. I applied for a code for that as well, and I wishlisted it. Wednesdays, not my type of game, but I gotta commend them for what they're doing, mixing a visual novel with a simulator and a builder. I think that, like, that's a good mix. Again, not my kind of game, but I could see somebody who'd be really into it. And also, like, a game that deals with, like, abuse in this way is a positive, with a in a positive light, to basically make it feel like, to if it reaches to people with that, then I think that that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like that Sunlight, again, like I said, not really my kind of game at first, but then as I was watching more, I got into it. And Gales of Nayeli, it's literally Fire Emblem. It's literally classic Fire Emblem. So I definitely want to check that out. But yeah, no, I'm impressed with the amount of stuff here that they showed off, and especially the colorblind friendly stuff. Like, how much colorblind friendly games, like, so you guys might know, a friend of mine, fellow River City Gamers member, SCXCR, he's colorblind, and in most cases he just deals with it in most games. He has in his reviews brought up the fact that some things, some certain games having certain things, with him being colorblind, did make things more difficult. And it's good to see that there's so many games that are having the accessibility for someone like him. I kind of want to have him on the podcast to discuss these things, because I'd like to hear from his perspective about being colorblind and more about, like, what games are doing to help with that. Like, even Monster Hunter Wilds has a colorblind feature. He doesn't use it, but he said that from what I believe he said from what he's seen, don't quote me on this, but from what he's seen, he said that it's a step in the right direction for making it more accessible for people who are colorblind. Like, and as somebody, I have friends who are legally blind, as in, like, they have the ability to see, but I have a friend who literally had to hold I worked with, who literally had to be nose to screen to do his job. When we played Smash Brothers, we gave him the gamepad, and he kicked all our asses because the gamepad was, like, perfect for him. But no, for knowing that these games are being made accessible for somebody like him who can see, who is visually impaired enough that it affects, like, his day-to-day, day-to-day things, I think that's a really cool thing. But yeah, just, this is, like, I don't know why this got taken off the Summer Games Fest schedule, but, like, this is, like, so far, like, a high point. Like, yesterday's State of Play, even though it's not technically part of Summer Games Fest, I still kind of consider it. Like, a lot of good stuff was shown there, and a lot of good stuff was shown here. And so this gives me hope that this year's Summer Games Fest is going to have a lot of good stuff. As soon as we get to Wholesome Games, I know all that's going to be shattered, but I like to hope that, like, this is a good start to Summer Games Fest, and I'm really excited to see what else we show. With that being said, guys, I am probably going to finish up stream. I'm going to find someone to raid, but I will be back just before 5 o'clock tonight. I'm going to do the Summer Games Fest opening stream, as well as Day of the Devs and the Devolver Direct. So I will be back for those. And then all weekend long, Saturday and Sunday, we'll be watching stuff from Summer Games Fest. And the more and stuff that gets released throughout the month of June, I'll also be reacting to as well, because there's a lot of stuff that not just is part of this, but part of other showcases that are happening. But for the time being, let me find some to raid, and then we will. I'll be back at 5. I'm gonna do a few things, probably like eat, clean myself up, all that fun stuff. Probably go for a jog. But let's see. Is there anybody in LTN other than me who's live? Let's see. Let's see. I think it's just me and LTN. Okay. Just me. And let's see. Who's live on my server? Let's see. Just me. Okay, well, then I've got to go onto Twitch now and see who's available. So I'm just gonna new window. I'm just gonna move that over here. And I'm also going to stop doing display capture. Because I don't want to show off any more than I need to. So let's see. Let's go back to Twitch and just mute the site so I don't hear if somebody else is playing. Nomura's doing Zenless. Magnus is doing art. Let's see. There's not a lot of people on right now. Akiko's doing Zenless. Mia's doing Psycho. Let's see. Mia? The Kitsune doesn't have a lot of people right now. Maybe I will raid them. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I got a Wendy's ad. Fun. Let's see. Maybe I will raid them because they don't have a lot of viewers right now. If I need, I might know someone that loves to make friends. No problem. Thank you for showing up, Allure, even though it was near the end. Like I said, guys, I will be back at 5 o'clock Eastern time or just before it, for the proper Summer Games Fest start. I just want to remind everybody that my pal, Mr. Up Here, has an album coming out under his new artist name, Static Saint. Please go check it out. It's going to be on Spotify soon. It's on Bandcamp right now. Some of the tracks are available on YouTube as well, so you can search Static Saint and find him there. But for now, guys, we're going to go ahead and raid Mia the Kitsune, I think. We're going to do that. They're playing Saiko. Giantess dating sim. It's a dating sim with Psycho. Ooh, that's interesting, actually. I like that. I like that. Anyways, let me just go ahead and set the raid up. And we'll do that. Let's see. Let's pause that. All right. So, guys, y'all know the drill, but in case you don't, that is okay. I'm going to tell you. Here is the raid message. If you are subbed, if you are not subbed, that is totally fine. I have a raid message you can use instead, and it is this one right here, if I could spell. If you guys would like to hang out with some cool peeps or join us for Toku Tuesday, where we're watching Power Rangers SPD right now on Tuesday nights, you can join the Discord server here. You can also find my social medias here. My YouTube channel's here, and the newest vid's here. This needs to be updated, but I will update it. And guys, if you would like to save 10% or more on your order at advance.gg, you can use my code 010 at checkout to save 10% or more. Usually on the weekends, they do boosted codes for gamer drinks and other merchandise. You can check that out. And one more time, check out my pal Mr. Up Here's new album under the Static Saint name. It was the music I played at the start of stream. If you didn't get a chance to hear it, it's kind of like a mix of like chiptune, ambient metal, synthwave, chillwave stuff, so you definitely want to check that out. But once again, guys, raid message if you're subbed. If you're not, you can use this one instead. Guys, I will be back at, like I said, before 5 p.m., probably around 4-ish p.m. Eastern time, to do the actual Summer Games Fest stuff proper. But as always, guys, take care, come here and rush, use a brush, don't do drugs, stay in school, eat your teeth. I'll see you next time on Cheat. Go say hi to Mia the Kitsune for me, and I'll see you guys later for more Summer Games Fest. See you later, guys. Bye.
I'm Ren. Ren? What a weak ass name. I'm Kina. Cool name, right? Cooler than yours anyway. Is it? So do you want